Hello, welcome to Prime Lenses. I'm Ian. Each week, I speak with a guest about 3 lenses that have meant something to them on their photographic journey. And this week, my guest is Jack Lodge. Jack is a landscape and wildlife photographer based in the south of England. This conversation's well timed as he is gradually moving from a purely landscape and sort of trees and flowers type of photographer to one with some wildlife in there as well, and maybe a little bit of astrophotography too for good measure. If I had to guess, I also wouldn't be surprised if film was going to show up at some point in the not too distant future. But he was lovely company. He had 3 really fun lenses to talk about. One of them is absolutely huge, like large and in charge. So, without further ado, I hope you enjoy this chat with Jack.
I'm all good, mate. Yeah, I'm all good. Yeah, just a little bit tired. I was out all night last night. So, yeah, a little bit tired, but we move on, mate. We move on. How about you?
We do. Well, pretty good. So I sympathise on the tired because we were just in Australia. And so,
were you really?
And so still kind of landing back in the right time zone. It's easier, I think, coming this way than going that way. Going that way was nuts.
Really?
And I'd been to New Zealand a long time ago, but I'd never been there, and it was all because my wife was there for work. So
that's awesome. Did you get some holiday together as well? Like you got to spend some time off?
Yeah, we did. So I've got 2 boys, and we hung out and did that stuff on the second week. First week was just me and them, like roaming around Sydney, which was really good fun.
That's so cool.
Because basically the short version, regular listeners to the show will know it, but like the short version is, Alice was going to Australia for work, and I decided to mic drop and just quit my job, and so I could go with her basically, and then also can do this full time. You're my first full time podcast interview as well.
Really, you're joking?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, congrats. Well, mate, huge congrats to you. That's amazing news.
There's no evidence it's going to work, Jack. Like, let's be clear. Like this,
you've got to give it a go. You've got to give it a go.
But I feel like we're onto something. I feel like it's just kind of gaining some momentum.
Such good timing.
Yeah, really. So yeah, consequently, sympathise on the tired front. But have you been out taking starry night photos again? Because I saw a couple of those.
Yeah, so I was doing astrophotography the last 2 nights actually. Which is great. It's great fun if I was clever enough and gave myself, like, I'll say, oh, Jack, you've worked your 10 hours, then have 10 hours off or whatever, but I don't. I'm so silly. I'm just obsessed, mate. So it's what happens. You'll do the same with the podcast stuff. Like, it's not actually work, is it? It's just like you just want to do it. Like, you actually want to.
That's the thing. So I saw something recently. Jordan Peele, is it, who directed Nope and stuff like that. The director, he was Key and Peele originally, is where I came across him. He was part of a comedy double act, and now he directs movies and he's doing horror stuff. I think he's he's doing really well. And I saw a thing. It was an excerpt from a talk he gave at a film festival or something like that, where he was saying how writing films became the thing that he did instead of watching TV or doing other stuff.
That's very cool.
And it's that thing of the kind of the success, or not success, but the 10,000 hours, the time put in, the whatever happened because he was having so much fun doing it and he was enjoying it. It's like, if you lose the fun, that's when it stops working. And I think that's where, and that's probably a nice on-ramp into a conversation with you, because I think that's where this thing we're doing right now, I think, has been successful and found an audience because I'm having fun. And I hope the guest is having fun, and then it comes across. Yeah, that makes people can sense that. If you're not enjoying it, if you're just going through the motions, I think that's why I admire Mark Maron for quitting. You know, he's going to stop this year. Yeah, because he's done 16 years, and he's like, that's plenty, thanks. You know, like to do, because he started his podcast at a real low point in his life where he got fired from radio and stuff, and he was like, right, I'm just going to make this thing. And now he's the godfather of podcasts, really.
So did he start the podcast then? That was his thing? Like he... Yeah,
so Mark Maron was like... early on, he's a stand-up, an actor, if you don't know him, but he does this podcast, WTF, and he's done it from his garage in America for years, like 16 years or so. At one point, he had President Obama in his garage,
Wow.
doing the
Fair enough.
podcast, right? So like
Yeah.
when you've
That's nuts.
when you've had to ask your neighbors if it's okay for a sniper to be on the roof, then
Yeah, that's quite serious. Yeah.
then you kind of, where do you go after that? Like
Yeah,
where,
you
what
don't
do you
do
do?
you?
So I do admire him for just going, do you know what? We've done 2 episodes a week for 16 years
Mhm.
without interruption. He's like that. That's pretty good.
No.
You know,
Yeah,
so
that's a lot.
yeah. So I'm aiming for 20 years with the podcast. I agreed with a previous guest. He's doing a
Yeah.
30-year time lapse of New York. And
Wow.
and so he and I were joking. He's 10 years in, and he was like, "Well, do you want to do a 20-year podcast?" And I think he just wants a mate. I think he just wants someone to talk to about
Yeah,
ridiculous
like,
long
how's the
term.
project going? Yeah,
Yeah.
yearly update.
Yeah, if you've got a silly long term creative project. So yeah,
That's quite funny because that relates to my work, man. We can talk about it later on,
Yeah,
but like that's how I do my photography. Basically, it's all long term.
yeah.
All long term.
Kind of recommended you, and then I watched your talk at the show, which seems like an age ago.
I know. Was that this year or was that last year's?
No, crazily enough, that was this year.
That was this year's. Yeah, so that's only March, which
Yeah.
which it was like 8 months ago, and it was
Yeah.
like what 3 months? Yeah. Oh, that's mad, isn't it? But hey, it'll be good next year. I mean, London was a bit of a funny vibe, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be better back at the NEC. I think it's.
I've never
busier.
been to it at the NEC. Yeah, so that was going to be my question. Like, is it a better turnout for that one?
I think so. Yeah, it's a little bit busier, easier to get to.
Yeah.
I think just logistically, the Excel. I mean, I knew camera clubs in London that wouldn't go
Right.
because they're like, oh, it's a pain to get to that side of London, like with the DRL and stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
what? You live in London?
I was
Like,
gonna
I've got to
say.
try and endorse it. Like,
Yeah. Let me talk to you about Inverness, my friend. Like, I'm
Yeah,
up in the
exactly.
high,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like, yeah, not easy.
where weather is everything.
Yes, tiny
Yeah,
planes
good.
go a long way. But yeah, cool. How is Dorset today then?
Wet and rainy, mate.
Oh, no.
It's weird because it was the same yesterday
Hmm.
all day, and I look at about 4 different forecasts,
Yeah.
and 2 of them were saying clear skies overnight, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Like don't play on my heartstrings like that. I kept an eye on them, and then I have a lot of clients who are like on standby with me, that they want to do certain projects. And I messaged one of them. I was like, look, she's local to me. I was like, look, I'm going to probably go out. It looks clear skies. And we just happened to book the day in. And yeah, lo and behold, it was crystal clear.
Amazing.
For like 4 hours. But you look outside now and you're like, there's no way that picture's from last night.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's actually I can see a bit of blue. Actually,
Can you really?
if I crane my neck ever so slightly, there is a little bit
Yeah,
of
it's
blue in
looking
the
good.
sky today.
But you're up in Inverness, aren't you?
Just south of, but yes. Yeah,
south.
just up in the
Amazing.
Highlands, yeah.
We've
Yeah.
got a full weather spot then because it is very Glencoe right now.
Yeah.
It's grey and wet and thick cloud. It'd be lovely for some moody pictures.
Yeah, well, it's nice to talk to someone who lives somewhere who, you know, because often when I speak to people, especially when I mention where I live, they're like, oh, it's just beautiful or whatever, but we can be smug together. It is quite nice living in a postcard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
It's pretty
brilliant.
good.
It's so good. Yeah, like literally, you've got places on your doorstep everywhere. Man, I love Scotland to bits. Yeah, absolutely love it.
Do you come up here and do workshopy type stuff as well?
I go up around Glencoe a lot.
Okay.
I'm going to go up to where am I going to go later on? In like October time, I'm going to go a little bit further north, like Cairngorms area, do a bit of wildlife,
Yeah.
and then I think a few friends and I are going to extend the trip and go up to Isle of Skye,
Nice.
and do all of that. But I have got a trip booked to Mull in 2 years or year and a half.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to like charter a boat and go do a bit of wildlife photography around there and things, which would be good fun.
Very
So now I'm
nice.
getting into that wildlife era. It's all very different to landscape.
It's on my cue card. It was one of the things I was going to talk to you about because I think because I was introduced to you as a landscape photographer, and the astrophotography makes all the sense in the world in that context. But I had noticed little furry creatures starting to kind of work their way in, and I wondered whether that was a conscious decision or was that because you were talking about before about being long term about things.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
do you
Yeah.
have? Is this like writing a long term, like writing Babylon 5 and the last episode's written on a card? Or do you, are you just sort of figuring it out as you go along and it'll make sense in the review?
Well, no, it is kind of structured in a way because I do so many workshops where a lot of my clients do both. Like, I found this out about 3 years ago. I found out that a lot of my clients were doing landscape and wildlife. And at the time, I mean, dude, I couldn't tell the difference from a great tit to a blue tit. I just didn't know. So I started like, do you know what? I should probably learn this to help them. That's where it started, in all honesty. And then I started doing a bit of wildlife myself, found some local places I could go to, and I fell in love with it. I was obsessed. Um, one of my clients said to me, "Oh, I've got these barn owls like who fly around my back garden in the fields. Do you want to come photograph them?" I was like, "Yes." Like, so I spent like a whole summer there in 22, 23, and it kind of kick-started the wildlife. And then I'd probably say in the last year and a half, that's ramped up a lot. And I love it. I mean, they're quite similar in ways, like the patience, persistence, the planning, understanding things. But they're different enough where like it stops me from getting into like a state of not knowing what to do. Like if the weather's doing something different, or the summer's quite tricky with light, I'm like, oh, I'll go do some butterflies, or I'll go do some harvest mice, or short-eared owls, or something. There's always something to do, which is great.
Yeah, that makes all the sense in the world, because I think I was going to ask about the split as well between your workshop support for people and your own photography, because presumably you've been at this 10, 15 years now.
Yeah, for myself, I started about 2014. I got the first camera when I was at uni, and then been doing it seriously with like started sharing my work really probably 2016, I think 2017, and then it just went nuts from there, and I went full time in started 23. So it's gone a bit nuts, and I love it. I absolutely love it. But it's a good split. So like I am out a lot. I do a lot of workshops and one-to-ones, but I still probably have at least 1 or 2 sessions a week where it's just for me, which is like my little, not a reset because I love everything, but just for me to go out on my own, mainly to find even new places, or to get new fresh ideas for clients and things, and just do it for me really, which is nice. Although, like, if I do get something epic, I feel so selfish because I'm like, I should have asked like someone to come with me, or like offered it to someone else. But I do get that selfish feeling afterwards. But I get more of a kick enjoying it with someone else. You see, I'm happy to sit back and watch them do it and help them get the pictures, and instead of me. But yeah, it's a fine balance.
One of the things I saw in Australia was their Wildlife Photographer of the Year award. Exhibition was on in Sydney, so I don't know what the quality that goes through that competition is most years, but I will tell you that this year is stunning. Like, if people are listening, like, go and look up the Australian Wildlife Photographer of the Year.
I need to go and look.
It's an incredible book. It was one of those things, like, you're going a long way. You're like, I'm not buying anything. I'm not going to bring anything back, but I did bring back the book.
Oh, that's Will Fortescue's image. I know that image really well.
Incredible photo, incredible. And what's amazing is it has this incredible photo of a lion and lioness on the front. And what's amazing is that's not even the winning image.
I know. Yeah, I think it was last year's, or I can't remember now. It's unbelievable. He grew up, no joke, about 10 minutes from me.
Really?
Yeah, Will did. Yeah, we talk on Instagram. We don't know each other in real life, but we talk through socials. But yeah, he grew up literally 10 minutes away.
That's amazing. That's so
He's
cool.
an amazing wildlife photographer. I'd say like people like that, like I'm nowhere near that. Like they're on like a pedestal. They're insane. I'm just playing really with wildlife.
But your stuff is looking really good. Like, I think that's the common. I mean, I love doing this, right? Because I'm a tourist. Right, it's not my job to make images. I can just be perpetually excited, and I think again, to go full circle, right? The fun aspect of it. If you're enjoying it and it's a fresh thing for you to look at, and it's kind of allowing you to kind of use your skills in a different way, then I think chances are you will accidentally end up just really good at it because you're about that consistency and about that repetition, I suspect. And like your mice and things, they're really evocative and really like you capture an essence and a soul of these things, I think, when you're photographing.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that means a lot, man. It's all about storytelling, I think. Whenever I take a picture, or whenever I teach someone to take a picture, I always say, tell a story with it. Like, don't just take a snap. Otherwise, we'll just get our phones out and just do anything, just a random picture. But yeah, if you can tell a story, get emotion, get a moment to make it a little bit special. But that could be anything. That could be the animals doing something. That could be a good sunset. Yeah. It could be frost. It could be anything. But yeah, keeps you on your toes.
Do you remember the moment where you realised you were a goner in terms of like loving this thing and loving this art form? Was it one image?
It was really clear. It was a bluebell wood back in 2018. I was full time with work, And I asked my boss for like 2 weeks off work, and he's like, "Why do you want 2 weeks off in like May?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go photograph bluebells." And he was like, "You want 2 weeks off work to go in a wood?" And I was like, "Yeah, mate, like that's what I really want to do." He was like, "Yeah, fine, you go for it." And like they were so supportive. They knew my love was photography on the side, and yeah, I spent 2 weeks photographing bluebells, and like I got this picture that just like gave me goosebumps. Like I literally had goosebumps taking it, and then when I got home and started processing it, I just knew that I was like, this is what I want to do. Like, this is it. But at the time, it wasn't monetized. It was just like, I just want to do this as much as possible.
Yes.
And I never had a plan ever to do this full time. It was just, I just want to do photography. But from that point, I was like, yeah, that's what photography is all about. So that one image was like, yeah, that's a starting point.
And then landscapes. And then, so you've kind of started quite small, grown out your view, and then kind of come back to something small again.
No, mainly kept it the same. I mean, in all honesty, this is quite relevant to your podcast title, but when I first started in 2014, I had a 40mm pancake prime and on a little Canon 100D, and I went to Venice, and that's how I started. And it was street photography. Right. So while I was over there, I was watching YouTube in the evenings, like what's manual, what is shutter speed, all this. And then was going out and practicing. And while I was out there, I then did a sunrise with my friend Sam, and he said, we should go down to the canal and do a sunrise. So we just had a little tripod. We even had some books that we were balancing on, and we did long exposures of the water, and I was hooked. I still show that image in my camera club talks today. So that's where I did my first ever like landscape shoot. And from there. And so it started with a bit street. I think I came back from there, went to London, did some street photography, got shouted at because I'm like 6'3" and I'm not very discreet. And I was like, this isn't fun. So I literally just fell out of love with the street photography stuff. Even though I completely appreciate it, it just wasn't for me. And just kept doing the landscapes. I've never done anything else, really.
No.
I think other than the wildlife that's now blending into this, they're the two genres I think I would always do. Even though I get asked to do weddings every week, but it's not my vibe. The pressure is too much, I think, for me.
Yes. No, I sympathise. I think wedding photographers are superhuman in a bunch of like
they're
very
incredible.
Very hard thing to do, right?
They are phenomenal. They're superheroes. Yeah. I think any photography with people, animals, like where it's like, I don't know, say it was pet portraiture or something, lighting, like stage studio, all that studio stuff. I'm like, hats off to those people because they are phenomenal how they do that. That all. I'm just happy, put me in a woodland with just natural light and that's it, or a cloud or rain, and I'll make something. And I prefer that natural element side of things. And also there's less pressure.
Well, I was going to say,
I'm happy. Like,
it's a constraint as well, isn't it? Which is not, you're not having to make the decision. Like it's just a constraint that's handed to you, a bit like street photography to some extent.
Yeah. If you put yourself in the right place at the right time, or can read weather charts and do that side of things, you might get a picture, you might not. But if you don't get a picture, you've still been out for a nice walk, still been out to clear your head, that type of thing. The mental health side of it's huge. So, the benefits of it are massive, whether you get a picture to share or not, I think.
And do you find with folks you're speaking to as they're coming to you and they're sort of beginning, in some cases, I'm guessing sort of fairly early on in their journey, but they know that they love photography and they know this is going to be something they want to do, so they want to kind of get a bit of input. And is it mostly that reassurance that they just need in a lot of cases, that actually you can see like they're enjoying it, like, you know, they've got their head screwed on right? Presumably not everyone's turning up to you every week going, I want this to be my job.
No, not at all. No, I mean, there's a few odd occasions where someone will come to me and they'll be like, tell me a secret. Like, I'm going to quit my job next year and do what you do. And I'm like, okay, like what? Who's your audience? And they're like, oh, I've not built that up yet. And I'm like, whoa, like steady back. Like, because it doesn't really work like that. I don't think. I think you have to either accidentally fall into it or subconsciously build something on the side first. But in terms of like the type of client, it's really varied. It could be someone coming who has no idea what the camera does and they just want guidance on the technical side. Or it's someone, and I'd probably say 30% of it is like this, where they're very experienced and they just want to see what I do and just shadow me out in the field and watch how I would approach a scene and then also process it and all that side of things. So The great thing is though, when someone's out for the day and we get to lunch and they're like, Jack, I've not even looked at my phone. Like they're like, I'm so stressed at work this week, but this is my day off. This is it. They booked the day off. They're out with the camera, and it's just that like reset.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite addictive. That feeling of just having no pressure and just being outside. Because all the pressure's on me to get to the right locations, so I feel the pressure. Like if we're chasing weather around. But for them, hopefully, they feel just like relaxed and creative. That's the important bit.
Yeah, we went whale watching while we were in Australia.
Oh,
and
wow.
They do
Brilliant.
this amazing thing where they're like, go out, they guarantee you'll see some. And I was just trying not to approach it with that kind of thing of, you know, when like, even if you're not working, but you've got your camera with you and you're approaching it going, I've got to get coverage. You're like, why? Well, I'm on
just
holiday.
enjoy the moment sometimes.
I'm not shooting for Nat Geo. It's going to be okay.
Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
No, it's really good. So do you, when you're doing your like scouting locations, because a lot of kind of photographers I speak to who do workshops and stuff spend a lot of time, like their split of their time is also probably like 50-50 scouting locations to take folks to and then taking them. Like, do you have a lot of go-to points near you, or presumably you've got to be national?
Oh, so yeah, we have so many places. Like I think that's the beauty of me doing it I guess the unconventional way, like not doing it as a job first, like just having it as a hobby, because I was working a full-time job, but I'd be doing a sunrise and sunset nearly every day. Like it was nuts. It was like, and then I was doing social media. So it's like 3 full-time jobs for like 6 or 7 years. But so like over that period, I just built up so many locations that when I decided to go full-time, it was quite easy to have like this bank on Google Maps of locations. And then I know where each place looks good depending on the weather. And that's slowly expanding out. So like Hampshire, Dorset, Wiltshire was like my safety net. I'd say like a 2-hour drive was local to me. But now that's expanding out, which is great fun. So the more I do this, hopefully the more I can spread out and explore new places, whether that's on my own or whether that's with other people that know the places better than me, and we explore them together and do that. I don't really know. It's just just go with the flow with it. But local locations is nuts. Like I live in a place called Wimborne, so Knowlton Church for me was 8-minute drive last night. So it wasn't exactly a mission to get to. And like I have loads of other places. So that's why a lot of my seasonal work is local, because I can get there quick. If the unique weather comes, I know where to stand. All of that stuff. So all your hard work pays off when you know your areas really well.
I can't remember. I'm reminded of a quote. It might have been Ansel Adams or someone who said that more than 500 feet from the car is by definition not photogenic.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Just
that's so funny. Yeah.
If you've got to go too far, like, no, we've done this wrong.
That's brilliant. Yeah, because some places, I mean, you got to do, I mean, down here it's nothing. It's not like Scotland. Like, I don't know, a half an hour walk for us is a long place to get to for a sunrise. Maybe an hour. Like, the hour walk into deep of the woods or down to the coast is a long walk for a sunrise. Whereas, yeah, like if you're going through Glencoe or up into Snowdonia, you could be out 2 or 3 hours before sunrise. It's a completely different type of photography. It's brilliant, and that's what makes it so accessible for everyone. I think. I don't think I doubt this, but I doubt there's a non-photogenic place in the country. There's got to be pictures everywhere. Like it has to be. I know we're really lucky where we are, but there's got to be places in every place.
Well, it's the thing, isn't it, of like if you've got a camera with you, because I say this to my boys a lot, and I've sort of said it on the podcast as well, but if you've got a camera with you, you've got a thing to do wherever you are. You can be getting your reps in, whether you're, you know, the images you're making might not actually be keepers. They're just, you're experimenting, you're learning, you're trying stuff out. And for me, it's also a way of signaling to the world that you're, you know, if you're sitting reading a book, then you're reading a book and you're cut off, or if you're looking at your phone. But if you're holding a camera and you're doing stuff, quite often people have a history with cameras and they come up and have a look. You know, it'd be like if you were playing an instrument or drawing a picture or something. Like it's sort of oddly approachable, and I think you're signaling to the world that I'm interested in it, because the world has to exist, otherwise it doesn't work. There's no point, you know, you don't leave the lens cap on. So I think that's what's so special about photos.
Absolutely. And we live in that world. Like we live in this amazing 3D world, but we all look at it 2D on a phone or on a TV, right? The amount I mean, I wouldn't know the percentages, but the amount of times we probably in a day spend watching a screen is huge. And you can only watch stuff other than if it's animated, obviously, on a screen through cameras, whether that's videography, cinematography, or photography. Whether that will change with AI, who knows? But like at the minute, it's all captured by humans. Like that's it. It's that human like element to it, and I think it makes it approachable. The funniest one for me, you'll love this, is if I'm doing landscapes, I'll be doing like long exposures at the coast with a group of people. We'll have someone come up and they go, "Oh, is there a rare bird? Like, is there a sea eagle or something?" I'm like, "No, we're photographing that stick of wood in the water. No, but we're making the water smooth." And they go, "Oh." They're like really disappointed, and they're like, "Is this a job?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like,
Can be.
"Oh." I'm like, "Oh." I'm like, "Hold on a minute. No, this is my job." Like, the people that like don't understand it is hilarious.
A bit like your boss not understanding, like, I need a week with the bluebells.
Yeah, he's like, "What do you need a whole week?" Yeah,
Because I've got to go back. I've got to go and I've got to look, and then the light will be different.
you've got it. That bluebell picture was 4 mornings in a row that I did, and the 4th morning was the good one. The others, don't even think I put them into Lightroom, so I've only got 1 morning in my computer because it was that bad. The other 3, and then after that 4th one, I didn't go back because I was happy.
Right? Yeah, you don't want to jinx it. You don't want to be
like, yeah, I was like, I'm not going to be greedy. I've got Mother Nature's done her thing. That's it. I'm happy.
Yeah. No, it's funny to think. I know a landscape photographer called Simon Baxter who lives in Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Do you know Simon?
Yeah. Not personally. I think I've talked to him a few times online, but he's an incredible woodland photographer.
Yes. Yeah, he's not bad. I will repeat a story because every episode can be someone's first episode. But I took my stepdad as a birthday present on one of his workshops, and my stepdad doesn't watch YouTubey people, or really like he's not part of like the online community and stuff. So it baffled Simon that someone was with him on a workshop who had no idea who he was.
Oh,
because
really?
it was the first time. He was like, I mean, people usually like have an idea, like they've usually seen something. And Chris was just like, no, I don't know who you are. And I'd given him homework. I'd told him to watch the videos. He just hadn't. So so he turned up. But it was really good. And Simon was great. That was a really good day. And he was pointing out locations where he was like, that tree over there, that'll be really good when it snows like this. But he's got to wait. And like, I don't even know. That was nearly 10 years ago. I don't even know if he's had that weather yet. You know, like to go back and get the shot that he wants. Yeah,
that picture might still be a manifestation. It's still not come true. Like, and that's the beauty of photography. I've got so many of those. It's like you end up with this bank of places you want to go back to one day.
Do you have a little note? I keep little notes for stuff like that.
Do you know what? I started because when I was at uni, I was massive into. I had an obsession with notebooks and fountain pens. That was my thing. That and watches. That were like my hobbies. And when I first started, I was notebooking all my locations, but it got to a point where there's like 6 notebooks, and I was out, and I needed to know where they were. So I unfortunately resorted to Google Maps and pinning.
Yeah.
I wish I kept it like physical, but the easiest way for me was to Google Map it. So my Google Map pins are ridiculous. Like, so that's how I store locations.
That's a good system. I tend not to store locations very successfully, but I have a mate who does the same thing. He's traveled loads for work and stuff. And when I've said I'm going to this place, do you know anywhere good? And then he sends me like 5 or 6 pins for like this coffee place in Texas was amazing, and this one here, and I'm just like, it's a dedication.
Especially good coffee places, they're important. So pin those. Yeah.
Well, they're good places to go to. I find when you go somewhere new, if you can find a good coffee place, you can also ask people like, "Where's good to hang out? Where's good?" You know, depending on what you like to photograph. You know, you can ask.
And a lot of time it's good vibes. Everyone's the same type of people, and you get good conversations going. It's probably a good place to do a podcast. To be fair, in a coffee shop.
Well, do you know that's
how Hidinky started with the talking watches.
Yes.
Think of Ben and John Mayer sat in a coffee shop. That's it.
No, I know. And you know, it's funny because when I started doing this, I've done this for about 18 months now. And when I started, it was all remote like this. And that's because that's a really nice, convenient. It's convenient for a guest. They don't have to go anywhere. It's easy to set up. You can fit it around your life. But you know what? Recently, I went to Germany. Leica invited me to their centenary event.
Wow.
So I went along and I recorded my first in-person episodes with them. And so what I've done tomorrow, as we're recording, is when I'm uploading the final. I've done 4 episodes at 25 minutes, so 100 minutes for 100 years, right? So like, and I've cut them up.
Cool.
I thought it was quite nice.
Yeah.
And I've been doing those interspersed in between normal episodes. So the normal episodes every Sunday, and then for the last 3 weeks, and this will be the 4th one, there's a Leica episode on a Wednesday. That's just as an intermediate thing. But you know what? I'm now fully addicted to in-person conversation because it's just like, oh, this is really nice. Like just to kind of like the bit like me, like this is nice because I've met you in person, right? So it's a little bit easier. But a lot of people, I was there and I was meeting previous guests and stuff who I've never met in person. I've only done this. And so just to see, and now I'm like, oh, what I need, Jack, is the lottery win, so I can be getting on planes all the time and just go and record these things.
I'll get like a podcast van, like a big sprinter,
like the mystery machine.
Yeah. You can do the mystery machine decals if you want. That'd be wicked.
Yes, there we go. Like Scooby Doo. That'd be amazing. Oh no, really good. But yeah, no, it is nice.
I'd love to listen to those. I've never shot film. I've literally got an Olympus. Was it OM1 here?
Yes.
That I experimented with like 8 years ago, but I never really shot film, and I do have an itch somewhere where I want to scratch it. Yeah. Maybe one day.
I really love Polaroid. I love instant film and Instax as well. Same thing. But friends of yours, of course, make really cool tiny printers as well, right? The Canon. Yeah. I've had a Canon selfie.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
Do you know what? I stopped using the selfie because I now have a 3. I mean, it's not like the one behind you. You've gone hardcore on the printer.
Oh, I used to have a 300 though. I used to have.
That's what I have.
They're brilliant.
Yeah, fantastic printer.
I promise you, it's the same printer. Like in terms of quality, it's just that thing is a little bit cheaper with ink. Yeah, but it's just huge. But yeah, they're brilliant printers.
Yeah, really, really good. I would never go back now from having a good printer, like a 300 or 1000 sort of Canon. Yeah. Like that's the stuff.
I love it. And what blows my mind as well, they're the only company where you can take a picture on their sensor, camera, lens, but then make it physical at the end of it. And I don't know why no one else has done that. It doesn't make sense. Like everyone's focusing on digital, but Canon is still like, no, you can still take pictures with our kit and you can still make them art as well. Yeah. Whereas everyone else doesn't. I think that's quite nice. That's a really cool touch.
It really is, but what I think is so interesting about photography generally is that everyone's doing a slightly different thing. Everyone's doing their version of what they think it is. So Leica is, I shoot an M predominantly.
Oh, amazing!
I love those cameras. Speaks. Using the thing speaks to me, and so I love using that. So I think it's really good. But I've shot Canons, like my photo journey started with a Canon, then I had a Nikon for a bit. I've shot Sony. And they just all seem to have like different whys, which I think is a really important thing. And that kind of thing, it was when the show I met you at was the first time I'd ever really understood. No, beginning to end. That's what we care about. And I was like, oh yeah, that's huge.
It's big, isn't it? Yeah. It's a big important thing, I think. And yeah, all cameras and brands do their different focus, and they take pictures differently. They feel different. All of that, and I think that's what makes it amazing. Like, there's no right or wrong with it.
No.
Like, I have clients with all sorts of cameras that you have to learn over the years, because I don't want to be that guy that turns someone down because I don't know how to use their camera. Like, no way. Like I'm like, give me your camera. Let's have a look. Like, what's in this menu? And I'm finding things, and then I'm learning, but I'm helping them at the same time. Every camera has everything, just it's renamed differently.
Well, that's the other thing now, isn't it? You can't really buy a bad one. Like, they're all pretty good these days for like what we need most of the time.
Especially landscapes. Like, landscapes is the easiest one because everything's dumbed down on all these clever cameras. We just like strip it all back and just slow it down, and it's basically like film photography, right? Like that. It's just very simple and then nice and slow. So most cameras can do that really easily. Wildlife, on the other hand, is completely different. Like, fast moving objects, autofocus, all of that. So that's another thing, but yeah.
I've tried manually focusing on birds and wildlife. It's hard.
Really tricky.
You do a lot of zone focus. All I'm saying is when I photograph birds in the garden, I'm not getting there's no eye tracking. Like it's me using a thing. In fact, I'll send you a picture afterwards. I have I bought it last Christmas because it was on heavy discount. It's an old Leica Novaflex, so it looks like a gun. Right, so you shoulder. It was designed for the R8 film or the R film system, and you shoulder holster it. Literally, it has a squeezy trigger for focusing. So it's basically a telescope. It's like 400 or 560 at the focal length.
Right.
So you have these bits to screw on. It's giant. Yeah. And I've had to adapt it to work on my digital M.
Wow.
But I can adapt it, and I had to buy a little add-on thing because it's not rangefinder coupled. So I had to kind of do all that for focusing it. But and the coatings are kind of going, and it's got a weird vintage kind of like 80s, 90s. So when we were kids, the photos you would see, I'm guessing we're sort of close enough in age that like you'd have seen the same sort of like 35mm sports photography or whatever in magazines. That kind of look, the way the coatings kind of made those sorts of images look like high speed film in the 80s. You get some of that look on the film. It's wild. And I've shot like woodpeckers and stuff in the garden and birds and things, and it is really good. But you do have to kind of like, it's just it's a really interesting design because it's all designed to take shape out of
I'm going to watch some videos on that after this.
Yeah, there's a couple of people on YouTube who've had it. Novaflex, really? It's called, and it does. I can never take it anywhere because I would be arrested because it looks like a gun. It does. It looks like a bazooka or a super scope.
Wow!
And you squeeze a trigger, and the process of squeezing the trigger kind of brings it into your shoulder if you're holding it with the shoulder. It looks like something James Bond would take out of a briefcase. I've seen a picture of it.
It literally looks, with a silver and black, it literally looks like something Q would give Bond.
It really does. Yeah,
that is
very
nuts.
Silly. Yeah.
It looks like it's got a silencer on the end of it and everything.
Yep. It's really silly. But if you want to take a photo of the moon,
that's so cool.
Then actually that's quite a good. It's quite a good tool for that. And the birds in the garden.
Wicked. Yeah.
Yes, and you shoot this thing at like f11, f16 as well, but you still get background blur because it's a 560mm.
That happens a lot with wildlife, especially when I do macro, because I thought we were going to talk about 3 prime lens. And one of them is an old macro. And it's like you shoot it f8, f11, and your background is still buttery smooth. And people can't understand that. They're like, how? And it's like, well, that background's 20 meters away. Like, it's going to be blurred out. So, yeah, focus distance is amazing. So I'd imagine with the moon, that must be well good fun.
It is a giggle, although I do need to get a different adapter because the adapter I've got, I think, is slightly too thick. And so I can't get fully to infinity. I'm extremely close to infinity.
Yeah, but just slightly off.
Because I'm adapting it. And I bought an Earth adapter. And Leica's adapter is like £400. Earth's adapter was like 20. So I went with that. So I think just it requires a bit of experimentation. I think the world of adapters, you can actually go cheap and it doesn't matter. But I just need to go thinner. So I'm going to experiment. I will find one and I'll get my moon shot. And when I do, I'll tag
That'd be wicked. Please let me know. Yeah, I love moon photos. Yeah.
So which macro was that then on the subject?
It is the 180mm. So really old Canon lens, but I think it's fully discontinued now, but it's phenomenal. Like the RF 100 is a nice macro, but it's something about the extra focal range on this. I did a workshop with a guy called Ross Hodnott because I really wanted to understand how he does his macro stuff because it's phenomenal. And I watched him in the field and he was just amazing to see. Yeah. And he used an old Nikon or a Nikkor 200mm macro.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's wicked. And he was like, oh yeah, Canon used to do one. Have a look. So I looked online and there was one used for like 500 quid. I was like snapping that up.
Yes.
And they're like hen's teeth. But they're brilliant. They render so well. It's still got autofocus. But what I like about it is that huge focus throw.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's still manual. Like it's not, it doesn't keep going. It actually stops. And it's like, so accurate. Yeah. Because they now focus by wire, a lot of them, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, I mean, not in my world, but yes. Yeah. I live in a fully manual world like you, but modern, right. I'm led to believe that modern cameras are all like focused by wire and stuff like that, which I wonder about longevity.
It's unreal.
Yeah. Really cool.
It's silent. Like my 400 is obviously wire because it's fully electric, but there's always something nice when I use this. It just feels nice to use.
Yes, but that matters, doesn't it? It's the tactility. To go back to like you and the fountain pens and the pen and the watches. Sorry.
Yeah. Like I should probably, no joke, I should probably be shooting film. Like for the things I like and how I shoot. I'm so slow. I take my time. I like printing big. So like medium format would make sense. So I should probably be doing that, but I never have. But yeah, maybe one day.
Maybe 2 years from now, Jack Lodge's darkroom course.
Everyone will be like, Jack, make your mind up. 1 minute you're doing landscapes, then you're doing wildlife, then you're doing insects, then you're doing this, and then it'll be film. But I don't think it will, but like, you never know.
The first dormice or field mice that we see on film, I think will be a bit special from...
See, that would be amazing. If you think of that, all that character that the image will have and the colours, like just the rendering would be wicked.
How little work there is afterwards. You don't have to process that in Lightroom.
Well, that's the thing, and yeah, and with these like harvest mice I do, you don't need to process them anyway. So like the film would just give it that extra quality, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe that'll be the first thing I try.
This is the thing you need. You need lenses like this, and it might not come through on the mic, but
Oh, that sounds amazing. That click.
little clicky aperture
The
rings.
aperture ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've got I use this as the other prime. It's the 24mm, the BCM one, which I love because I use that for Astro. That has got an aperture ring,
Nice.
but Canon de-clicked it.
Okay.
So annoyingly, if I can't remember how I do it now, I think I have to hold that down. Yeah, so it spins. But it's like
Completely
dead silent because it's made for videography.
I was just going to say, presumably for video. Yeah.
Yeah, and I asked them, I was like, "Can you put a click in it?" And they laughed. All the engineers were like, "Everyone, when we made it clickable a couple of years ago on another lens, everyone wants it de-clicked, and now you've come and said you want it to click." But apparently they can't because they'd have to put ball bearings in it. And they're like, "We can try, but we'd have to take your lens apart." I was like, "No, not mine."
Yeah.
Maybe try it on one of yours first.
Yeah, I was just going to say, can you just do it? I mean, you'll happily test the
you
prototype.
are literally Canon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. I don't really use it though, but it would be nice to, just for that nostalgic feeling.
Presumably you can just stick it in auto mode and the camera drives it. And
that's what it does. Yeah. And then you can change the aperture on your camera. And it works absolutely fine.
Yeah. No, really nice. Do you feel like actually they'd be receptive to stuff like that? Like, do they often ask for your input on things? Like,
they're really good. Yeah. Yeah. So like I probably fed back, I don't know, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, about password protection and things. And I don't know if that is related, but I mean, an update came out recently and they have added it. I think it's for like EU regulations.
Yes.
But I think they do listen really well. Like, and they like things to be tested properly as well. And they're very, very good. They're a great brand to do stuff with.
Yes. I was blown away by how welcoming it, like, because they didn't know me from Adam for that show.
Yeah, they're literally like a family. It is the most amazing group of people that I've ever seen in a business. It's brilliant. And like every event, they're always there with different people. And then you recognize faces and then you build up friendships. And it's like I did a photography show, obviously, where we met. And then like last month 3 weeks ago, I was up at Bird Fair up in Rutland.
Yeah.
And like I've never done presentations on wildlife before because I'm on that like weird transition period.
Yeah.
But everyone was amazing and they were all up there and it was a great show. And it was nice because like it was weird because all my images were printed everywhere. And that was really weird. Like I walked in and there's like 6 of my images like 2 meters high. And I'm like, whoa, like that's pressure. I thought they were just going to use it for leaflets, but
yeah.
So that was really nice. And yeah, they're a great bunch.
Yeah. Do you ever have that moment where you're walking in a room and you're like, oh, that's really cool. And then you realize it's yours? Or do you know it's...
No, normally I sink in size and embarrassment. After I check for dust spots.
Yes.
I'm like, is there any dust spots? Like checking around. But yeah, I love seeing work printed. It's awesome.
Is that the biggest you've ever seen anything of yours printed then, like 2 meters like that?
Yeah. Well, no, actually, to be fair, I've printed a few of my bluebell images at like 4 meters big.
Wow.
So yeah, and they've gone to places and people have got them on their walls. So they're quite big prints, but
yeah,
I love it. You see so much detail.
Yeah.
They're normally panoramas, but even on like a 45 megapixel sensor, if I take 6 shots, yeah, you can print it 4 meters and up if you want to.
Do you have a lot of your stuff around your house as well, or are you so busy putting stuff out? Because I'm guilty of that.
I do you know why? It's because I'm too like critical. Like I think I've got one in the downstairs toilet.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't tend to hang my stuff up a lot. I used to, but then at the minute I've got a Joe Cornish print on my wall to my right.
Oh yeah.
Which is lovely. Like I picked that up from him at last year's photography show when he closed his gallery, and like that's a nice little reminder to look at for the type of work he does, which is very similar to Simon and Joe.
Yes,
I think they're really good friends.
Yeah, I need to hit up Joe. He's local to where I grew up.
Really?
So Rosebery Topping and all around there.
The most inspiring person ever. Like he really is, and his love and passion for photography is just off the charts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd make a great guest. He really would.
Yeah. Well, also he's one I can probably do in person because I'm down there quite a lot. Because my stepdad and my brother still live round near Stokesley, which is basically near.
Yeah, pop down to his studio or something. Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I'll just throw names around like confetti. I'll be like, that Jack and that Simon.
He won't remember who I am. I don't know. We've done a few stuff with photo speed, which is good. But yeah, Joe is like a living legend.
He is really, really good. We've for many years, the sort of standard family Christmas gift for a relative when you didn't know was his calendar. Like, we'll get him a Joe Cornish calendar and a Joe Cornish Christmas card. That's the way to go.
Oh, that's a really good Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's everywhere. He's a local legend round that way. Like, you can't go into a doctor's surgery or a coffee shop without seeing some Joe Cornish stuff on the wall.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's really good to know. Like, it's good to see the stuff in person as well. You want to see prints on the walls. I think that's really important.
Roseby topping. Also, it's a standard joke around there that like every logo for a company is basically Roseby topping. That hill with like the flat top, because they used to mine jet, and then the mine collapsed. So the hill used to be like pointy. And then,
really?
I don't know, like 40, 50 years ago, something like that, the top collapsed, maybe a bit more, collapsed. And so it's a really, for listeners, like it's a really distinctive hill because it has this flat, like weird flat top to it where the mine collapsed. No one was inside or anything. It's just they'd mined They'd mined it to death. And then years after they abandoned the mine, I think it collapsed. But that's where a load of jet came from that Queen Victoria used to wear after...
Really?
After her husband passed away, she wore black. She wanted jewellery, but black because she was in mourning. And it's like a black jewel. You can polish it up, and
wow.
She wore a lot of jet.
That's so cool. Oh, you always learn something new. Look at that.
You do. There was a pub near where we used to live, in a village where we used to live, called the Jet Miners, because it was where the jet miners used to go and hang out.
No way.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Oh, I love my favourite colour is black as well. Funny enough, so. Yeah, I'll have to look that up as well.
Yeah. No, my wife's favourite colour too. Loves she shops a
lot
at
All
All Saints.
Yeah, really. Yeah, anything black. Yeah, it's weird because like I do landscape photography, so I love colour. Anything colour. But like when it comes to actual clothes and decoration, I'm like, black. Like it's simple, it's clean.
Yeah, but also you don't have to think too much about it. It all goes together.
Yeah.
You know. Like I've had that with clothes where like because I love wearing colourful bright clothes, and so consequently you have that problem of what goes with what.
Clashing. Yeah.
So you kind of have to pick. You have to pick your moments and pick your stuff. I've even been guilty in the past of like pairing watch straps to like
100% or watch dials. Yeah, good man.
Well, I'm becoming a basic watch person. Just recently.
Oh, amazing.
Casio.
Yes.
G-Shocks.
Yeah, they're god tier, man.
I'm level. A goner now for G-Shocks because they've done this very clever thing where they've created a product at a price point it's sort of exclusive and cool feeling.
Yep.
But unfortunately, they're like 50 to 100 quid, so you can kind of go, I could get another one of those, and like that's the worst. And then before you know it, you've got a collection of watches.
Yeah, and that's probably my first watch. They call it the F91W. It's like the little rectangular one that just goes on your wrist. That's what got me into watches when I was like 13, 14. And mate, Casios are amazing. Did you see the Hodinkee collaborations?
Yes.
Yeah.
eBay knows I like them now.
Oh, really? I got the Ed Sheeran one, and I got the baby blue John Mayer one. And like that, I was happy with those two. And they were the two that I found. And I love them. They're so cool.
They did a manga-inspired one recently.
Yeah.
That is in that blue and white that looks like a previous guest of the show, Brandon Talbot, has one.
Really?
I spotted it in his YouTube video the other day, and I was like, "You've got that's really cool." Yeah. And he was like, "Yeah, it is."
That's what people know, don't they? Like, that's what's so cool about a watch. People just know.
Yeah. You just spot it. You go, "I see you."
Yeah.
No, it's fun. And then there's the modding community though for the Casios as well, where people like go and add coloured films and all sorts of different stuff to them, which is really fun.
One of them, the big one for me was when I was going. It was like the Seiko mods.
Yes.
So people would get like a Seiko watch and they'd put different straps on and they turn it into like a diver style watch and change the bezel and things. And I'm like, that's so cool. It's like photography. People were just like customizing things.
Yeah, like you rock the thing that you rock for you or whatever. Well, on that subject, is there a thing that makes the camera feel like, right, this is set up for me now? You know, or do you just take it out of the box and go?
Oh, no. Like every camera I use, I always like spend time setting it up for like the buttons I use. So like, back button focus, right? So I have two set up. I have one for like tracking, like animals mainly, and I have another one which is like a dumbed down spot focus with no tracking, which is literally like a DSLR, and I can jump between those two really easily. And then I like my shutter dial to be on the top, so it's next to my shutter finger. So all I'm doing when most of my photography is changing the shutter speed, and then it's really quick to do between taking pictures. And yeah, I think that's quite important. And I like to save my settings on a card and actually put it in a desk at home and in my bag, so I can reset the camera if I need to, if anything ever goes wrong. But don't do what I did in Rutland. As someone bought an R5 II, I was doing a presentation on setting up the R5 II, and then, Jack, can I have your settings? I was like, yeah, of course you can. So I put like a 512 gigabyte Lexar card in their camera, loaded the settings, forgot to take it out. So there's some chap out there who's a lovely guy who's got a free 512 gigabyte CF Express card.
I feel like I'd notice.
I'm sure he did, but I'm sure he probably thought it came with like the bundle he got or something.
Right.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh no, that's my card.
Yikes. So I had a similar experience. My camera broke earlier this year and went back to Leica to be fixed. It had a shutter problem. So I sent it in. They fixed it. It's lovely. They loaned me a camera whilst it was being repaired, which was really good of them. And so I last week sent the loaner away. But when the other one came back, this battery was inside.
Oh, winner!
Yeah. So I emailed them and I was like, you've given me a battery, and they emailed me back and they were just like, yeah, we shouldn't have left that in, but to get it sent back because it's classified as dangerous, hazardous material, they were like, just keep the battery. So now I have a spare. Which is quite
nice. So good. Oh, that's such good service. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. They did the quick calculation on the back of a fag packet and just went, do you know what? That's not going to be worth us getting back.
No, you enjoy it.
Yeah, with our blessing. I think it's had a fairly hard life because it doesn't hold a brilliant charge. Battery. Yeah, but who cares? It's a spare, which means that you can have it in your bag.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. And it's a storyteller as well.
Yes. Yeah. I'm never going to take the CC UK sticker off the bottom.
No, don't do that.
Because then I'll know that was the one they gave me. But I felt okay because I checked. There was a moment where you're like, do I just hold on to this? Have they meant to leave it in? I should just check.
Yeah, well done. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very good. What's your backup, actually? That's a good question. So when I talk to people who are like shooting famouses, like having a podcast like having a taxi, right? I've had that Tom Oldham in the back of my cab, and when he was always talking, like, I travel with 2 of everything, and then if anything goes wrong, I've got whatever. For landscape, it's a slower moving subject, but it doesn't mean that the material is any less valuable. So are you travelling with 2 of everything as well, or what's your kind of rule of thumb?
Yeah, well, funny enough, when I was doing mainly landscapes, I would just rock one camera body.
Yeah.
But what I would do is I'd have 2 memory cards backing up raw to both and do that. And if I get somewhere special, I get a good shot, I would always take a card out and put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
So like if someone wanted to steal my kit or I dropped it over a cliff, I'm like, whatever, it's insured, but the pictures are on me.
Yeah.
And then when I started getting into wildlife, I noticed the beauty of having 2 camera bodies. So when I upgraded to the R5 II back in last July, it's maybe in a year. Yeah. It's probably last August. I kept my R5. One as a storyteller, because like that's what got me professional, and I'll never sell it. And secondly, that's like my landscape camera, and then my R5 II becomes the wildlife camera, and I just keep one as a backup. It's worth having, especially because I shoot on the primes a lot for wildlife. It's nice to have the versatility on the second camera if something changes and I need a 100 to 500 or something.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have that flexibility.
Yeah. And did you see the stuff in the press, or not press, but like it was on socials at the weekend of like people leaving a plane and running off with all their gear? Because was that one where there was something like a rough landing, the wheels caught fire because the brake jammed on or something like that, so you saw people using the emergency slide and coming off, and there was a lot of photo conversation. It was on Thread, so photographers were immediately looking at it and going, oh yeah, what would I do if like all my camera gear's in a bag?
Oh, you just
it's
get off
the plane,
whatever.
Right? Yeah. But it was a lot of talk about copies.
Keep the memory card on you. Because so this is really weird, but I'll keep it where my passport is. So wherever my passport is, I'll keep the memory card or something. Especially on planes, because they're like for that reason only. Like you've got the pictures with you.
Does Canon do any wireless transfer stuff as well in the background?
Yeah, I mean, mine is just turned off though. I must admit, I'm
Sure.
bad with that.
Well, for battery
My,
life, right? I mean, as much as anything
yeah,
else.
every camera I get, airplane mode is on, like straight away.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because I've used mirrorless since the start. I had a Canon 100D for
Yeah.
a year in 2014, and then when Sony brought out mirrorless, I was like on it, and I
Yeah.
went down the mirrorless route, and then came back to Canon when Canon went mirrorless, and I was just used to turning everything off to save battery
Yeah.
because batteries would drain quick on
Yes.
the old mirrorless cameras.
And they get you on the batteries. Like, they are not cheap.
They're so expensive, man.
Yeah.
And on the R5 too, we had to get new batteries as well for the voltage.
Right.
So to handle the pre-capture and also some of the video functions,
Yeah.
you have to get the new batteries, and they're like 140 quid a pop, I think.
Yep. Yep.
What? And Leica are probably even worse. I mean,
Well,
you
no,
have
they're
Leica
not too
tab,
bad. They're
so-
155, which is not cheap, but also
That is-
not, you know, on the plus side, they at least color match them to the bodies. So
Oh, that's not. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah,
you can get black,
yeah.
silver, and there's a green one
Nice.
now as well for the Safari. So
Oh, has your camera started to? Is it made of bronze? Has it got like a bronze layer
no,
underneath?
so mine is the. He said, reaching for it. Mine's the M11. So it's aluminium
Oh,
rather than
lovely.
brass underneath. So what's happening with mine, which is really, and I was very glad they didn't fix this when they fixed it. The paint's coming off on like the dials
Lovely.
around here, so it's
Yeah.
brassing really nicely on the edges. You can actually see a little bit of the so it's brassing on the edges of the dials and things, which is really good. But the body itself has a kind of different. The weight saving's worth it because it's 20%
Absolutely.
lighter than the brass one, and also when it goes through airport scanners. When I had an M10, which was all brass, every time it went through an airport scanner, they would check it. Like there was something about
really?
because I guess they just don't see many things made of brass, and the detector's like, So paint's rubbing off in all the nice places where you want it to, but the aluminium is gonna probably silver up rather than
That'd be lovely.
kind of go bronze, or because the M10s and the old the old brass ones go kind of like a nice gold color over time.
I've seen. I mean, I've seen a few pictures of like old M6s and like the new MP. I think the new MP. Well, the M6 it bubbles, doesn't it? You got to be careful of the oxidation. But the MPs, they've got the black ones. They're brass, and I've seen pictures, and I'm like, that is lovely.
Yeah.
It's like old watches. If you get a vintage watch, you're like, if you send it off for service, you're like, don't polish it. Like, don't replace anything. Just service it.
Just leave it alone. I feel very much it was funny because when they took this one in and I had theirs to use for a couple of months, especially towards the end, once I knew that mine was fixed, when we were in Australia was when I got the message saying it was fixed and it was ready to send back, and we'd just arrived in Australia, and I was like, do you know, because I really wanted it back. And it is stupid because mechanically they're identical and they do exactly the same thing. But I feel so much better having mine. Yeah, it's there are many like it, but this one's mine. And I like to walk around with this thing just on my body, right? So that's where the paint rubbing off comes from, and so that's how I know it's mine. But it's it will age. The M11s, like this, whatever the paint is that they're using that's anodized on, or however they've applied it to the aluminium, it seems very durable and it's very grippy. It's a very grippy textured paint finish. So it's not it's not wearing, like, it looks new, really, as new.
Brilliant.
But it's the dials that are going first.
I love that.
It's
like a story. Yeah,
yes.
Like, if you take it on trips, it tells stories. So I can see why you'd be annoyed that you didn't have your camera in Australia. Because like you'll this sounds really weird, but you'll probably even look at the pictures differently.
Yeah,
like because the same pictures be like, it wasn't on my M11, it wasn't my camera.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's like a little sentimental thing, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, I got on the wildlife front. We shot whales. I took some pictures of whales, and that was really cool because it's a high res sensor. So I only shoot primes, mainly because it's an M anyway, and it's like there's mostly primes. There are some like triple focal length lenses that they did, which they used for shooting the new Superman apparently.
Really?
A Tri-Elmar, I think they're called, and there's one. It's a lens. It's like it's a 24, a 35, and a 50 or something in one lens, and you kind of twist a thing to kind of do it. And I saw something that said they shot some sequences of Superman using one of those bolted onto the front of whatever Red or whatever kind of cinema camera they use, which is just quite cool for like giving it a look, because like lenses are paintbrushes, like for me, like that's how I think about them. So yeah, so I shot some whales, but what was cool was 60 megapixel sensor with a 90mm lens, and then you crop, and I'll send you some pictures afterwards. It's mad how much detail you still retain. Yeah, it's really good.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the beauty of high megapixel cameras. The downside of them is noise. So like when it comes to astro, I do wish I had like a 20 megapixel camera to reduce the noise a little bit when you don't need the crop. But the croppability on 60 megapixels is just unreal.
I mean, it's nuts. I cropped in very harsh. I wrote about it on the blog actually last week, and I took a screenshot of Lightroom to show how much I'd cropped the image in by, and then had the picture next to it, and it's still like a 3700 by whatever image. So
I can still print it big.
Yeah, there's still a lot of detail, and I'm not shooting it for Nat Geo. I'm not trying to like make it my job. I was just trying to record me doing something, and so yeah, with my silly, looks like a film camera.
I love it. No, I think they're wicked cameras. Yeah, if I could have a film camera, it would be an MP.
Yes.
I thought about getting. I was speaking to a guy at, I think it's Wales and West, really nice guy from Leica, and he was like, because I was talking I noticed his watch, so we started talking about watches. I was like, oh yeah,
which they do now. Yeah,
and I was like, I got this watch for my son. He was born in 2023, and he's like, oh, that's such a lovely idea. And then I was like, oh, but they also, this is a funny story. My son was born. He was in my arms the day he was born, 25th of May, 2023. I got an email popped up on my phone, Leica, new camera launch. And I was like, what? Clicked it. It was the Q3,
yes.
the 28mm Q3. And it launched the day he was born. In my head, stupid Jack trying to justify it was like, I should get one. Take pictures of him growing up for 18 years, and then it's his first camera, right? But then, like, I was speaking to this guy, and he was like, yeah, but it's a digital camera. Like, will it still be working? Will the batteries be around in 18 years? He was like, what you should do is get an MP from 2023 and do that. And I was like, oh, that's such a good idea. Film is really big. Like, even Photospeed are stocking it now. They got fridges full of film. And it's like, it's so popular.
I need to get back into it in summer of film.
Yeah, would you do it? Yeah.
Well, I've been talking about doing it, and I'm now getting... I had one listener contact me recently, friend of the show, Tom, and he was like, one bit of feedback on your Leica stuff. And I was like, oh no, what have I done? Like, is it bad? And he was like, you're talking a lot about an M5 for someone who doesn't have one. I was like, okay, that's fair. So I think I need to do summer of film. I think I need to do summer of film, and I need to get one. I'm going to Iceland next week. If I could source one by then, I've got some friends at Ford's Photographic up in Inverness. I think I should go and try and source a film camera and do a bit of for the plot.
Yeah, you should. You really should. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Will you get Northern Lights at the minute, or is it still polar sun? Is it?
It's very light there until like 11 p.m. 12 p.m. It's just probably the wrong time of year for it, but you never know. I mean, like I
sunrise, sunset.
Yeah, sunrise, sunset, the landscapes there are mad. So
yeah, I bet. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to kind of getting some photos while I'm there. Good. Pack the 28mm,
Lovely, love 28mm focal range. It's so nice.
It's really good.
It works so well.
Yeah, and the one I've got for this. Hang on, this will sell you on cameras. Hang on.
Oh no, I can talk about cameras for hours. By the way, this is dangerous.
Is my 28mm? Look how tiny that is.
Oh, look at that. Is that Summilux?
No. So, this is the thing. Everyone, I've been walked out of stores before for having this opinion. However, I think it's correct.
I don't know much.
That is a 28mm 2.8.
How small that is.
Teeny tiny. And the thing is, my friend, especially if you're photographing landscapes, nobody needs
no one needs 1.4.
1.4, whatever. Like, you don't.
No.
And so with the M...
You're F8, F11.
Yeah, exactly. Ansel Adams, that shit.
And even with film cameras, a lot of people shoot... Oh, look at that.
It's tiny.
That's
tiny. Yeah, it's really good. So, and it's got a beautiful focus throw on it. It feels really good. When I was at Leica, listen to that.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah, and when I was there, so they make the lenses with the focus ring, and they make them to such a tolerance that they're a bit too stiff, because the tolerances they're working to are so fine, they're a bit too stiff. It is the literal job of some people to just twist them until they loosen, until it feels right.
Really?
And it is until it feels right. They don't have a machine. Yeah, well, no, that's the thing. The team work together Like I've seen The
Wow.
Room, and they all work together, and there's a group of people, and they're the ones that know, and they will
That is
train up the
incredible.
next generation of people to come up and just
Yep.
they will also just know.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's
wild.
like watchmaking. That's the dangerous thing with
Yes.
Leica and things like that. It's the same thing. It's that whole process of it's man-made,
Yeah.
it's metal, it's heavy, it's expensive, it's a piece of art that you take
Yeah.
pictures of art with. Like,
But they've
it's
only
so
made
cool.
6 million cameras in 100 years. That's it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. So like
Wow,
they're a different. It's a whole different thing. You know,
wow, that's mad.
it's that line from Blade. It's like I'm something
Yeah,
else. Like it's
yeah,
just a
yeah,
different
yeah.
thing. And again, it's like speaks to that thing of there's this boutique crazy brand like them. There's Hasselblad making again really small quantities of very
Yeah,
specific.
you got like phase one and stuff as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I had a client with a phase one once, and it freaked me out.
Really.
Oh my days! I had no idea how to use it, man. I was like, what is this thing? And he's, oh, well, this is the back, this is the lens, this is the tilt. And I was like, okay, I know kind of tilt and shift from
Yeah,
like
yeah.
my architecture days, but I was gobsmacked. It was a thing of beauty. And then he told me the price of it, and I was like, right, you're not going anywhere. I'm your bodyguard for the rest of the day.
Yep, yep, yep. No, that's really cool
Unbelievable,
though.
guy.
Yes, yeah, yeah. But that's the thing. These things are really fun. Well, I'll tell you what. You on the subject of unbelievable cameras. So we've done 100 and something mil macro. We've done a
Yeah, that
24.
EF 100 mil, EF 180 mil macro,
180. That was it.
the RF 24 1.4 VCM.
Was there one more, and we can use that to
Yeah,
round things out?
yeah, it's the big one. It's the big prime.
Holy smokes! What's that? 400?
Yeah, that's a 400 f2.8. Yeah, and,
2.8 as well.
yeah, 2.8. Yeah,
Shit.
look at the have a look at the actual glass.
Oh my god, that's massive. It's for listeners. It is
So you can
almost the
see
same
yourself.
size as Jack's face. Like
I
that's.
genuinely think it is.
It's
Yeah. And
bigger
I've
than
got a
your
big
head.
So like that is huge. Then it's amazing, and it is what gives me that soft, buttery background for wildlife,
Yeah.
which I'm obsessed with.
So good.
Yeah, it's good lens, but it's a 400 2.8 with a 1.4 teleconverter. It's a 560 f4,
Yep,
and with a 2 times teleconverter, it's an 800 f5.6.
that's mad.
So like I've actually got 3 primes just in that one lens. So
Yeah.
we could have just talked about that.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's 3 primes in one basically with the teleconverters.
that's so cool.
Cool. It is a cool bit of kit. So that's like my baby for wildlife. I love it. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, you want to get that down
yeah.
the MotoGP track. You get some really
Yeah,
good
anything.
shots
Yeah,
down
can you
there.
imagine? Yeah, actually, yeah. To be fair, anything motorsport would be amazing with
Yeah.
it. I mainly use it in like hide environments with gimbals,
Mm-hmm,
or I use it when I'm on a tripod out with the owls, and I would be lying in the grass with it because you can handhold it for like an hour,
Okay.
then you feel it. Like
Yeah.
I think it's like 3 kilos. So with a camera and a lens, you're looking about 4.5 kilos.
Okay.
So you feel it after a while. To begin with, you're like, oh, it's heavy, but it's all right. But
Yeah.
your back and your arms start aching after a bit.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Got to
so
be careful
cool.
with it.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean,
good lens.
but that's luggable. Really, like years and years ago,
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
a day. Well, it was a weekend, but I only got to spend one full day with Honda's photographer. It was a guy called Andrew Northcott,
Oh wow! Right.
MotoGP, and he was shooting the Canon. Was it the
600 f4.
No. It was so he had a 400, 800, and 200 primes with the
Wow.
lenses he shot with. He had 2 bodies, and
Wow.
it was a 1D Mark III
Oh,
and a Mark
1DX.
II.
Yeah.
So I think pre 1DX maybe.
Oh,
I think
really?
they were original one. The first one of them at least I think was an original 1D. I could check the EXIF data
That's
on the
so
photos.
cool.
But yeah, he was the real deal because he'd come up through film. So
Wow.
he let me use one of his bodies, and I'd never shot with anything with such fast, like shutter, like so many frames per second in my life.
And the
so,
sound of it as well. It's like a
Yeah.
turret. It's like. Chuk, 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 chuk.
oh yeah, it was really fast. And like so the first time, like Valentino Rossi or someone came by, and he was like bang bang, and they were all perfect and in the center and in focus, and I was just like, and it was
Yeah.
it was like using an Uzi for the first time
And yeah,
or something.
there's literal recoil. Like
Yeah. And I think by the end it got a bit better, but I think over 2 days I shot like 1,000 photos because I didn't know
Yeah,
what I was
wow.
doing. I was just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just spray and pray.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yes, but
the
very
photos
good.
that those people get with the panning, I love that type of look. That panning look is so nice. yeah, wicked bits of kit.
Yeah, really, really good. Oh, brilliant. Well, when are you up in the Cairngorms? Let's do a thing.
I think it's like second week of October. Yeah, let me know. Yeah, let me
Yeah.
know. I'll keep in touch, and then when
Yeah.
I'm up, I'll drop you a message. But
Yeah.
we'll go grab a coffee or something.
That would be fantastic. I'd love to show you around some places if we get a
that'd be
chance.
wicked.
Yeah,
Yeah, man,
cool.
that'd be brilliant.
Oh, well, this has been
Awesome.
lovely. Thank you so much for sitting down and doing this. And great because we planned it so far in advance. 8 million months ago.
Like 4 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really, really good. For listeners who don't know Jack Lodge, where can we get some more Jack Lodge?
Oh, cool. Yeah, so my website is just www.jacklodge.co.uk, or just look for Jack Lodge Photography on Instagram or Facebook. That's where I basically do like daily updates of what I'm up to, like here, there, everywhere. And yeah, put my most recent portfolio work.
Love it.
And then if they want to get in touch, just hello@jacklodge.co.uk. Feel free to drop me an email and we can have a chat.
Yeah. Brilliant. All right, mate. Well, thank you so much.
You.
You have a lovely rest of Tuesday.
Oh, thank you, mate. You too.
All right, take care. See you soon.
See you later. Bye.
A huge thank you to Jack for being on the show there. I really enjoyed talking to him. That was a good one. Unique lenses as well. Completely new ones. We've never had those before. If you enjoyed the show and don't already, don't forget that you can subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. So that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, all the places. And there's also a weekly newsletter that goes out every Wednesday. That's available on ianfarrell.com/sign-up. Also, as just a little request on the end, if you've enjoyed the show, just send it to a friend. That would be really, really cool. It's the best way to help support the show. There is a Patreon. You can do stuff like that. There will be things coming in the future. But the best way right now is just for you to go, here, mate, you like those Canon cameras. This guy Jack Lodge seems to know what he's talking about. You should go and have a listen. Just do something like that. That would be tremendous. As always, have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next time.